the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back, once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network tonight. Swift Motorsports fires things off in the RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series right here from Kentucky Speedway in the Thoroughbred 175, qualifying already about halfway in the books here tonight. Multiple drivers out there putting in their qualifying time. So with all that being said, well, why don't we go ahead and give you some of those official qualifying times out there on the speedway right now. There you can see Andrew Mraz has got that top spot. Once again, Mraz, quick time, 30:76, just barely inching out Austin Hill, who's out there on his second time lap. We'll have to wait to see what Hill does. Race number 10 here in season number 2 for the RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series from Swift Motorsports. And who's gonna get the job done? Not just by winning tonight's race, but can Tommy Haynes secure that regular season championship here tonight as we get set to fire things off and begin the chase for the championship here in season number 2. So what 12 drivers are going to find their way into the chase and a chance to run down their championship hopes and dreams? Andrew Mraz looks like he will secure tonight's pole position. Doesn't seem like there's very many out there that could snatch that pole away. Justin Gann, Stephen Ayers Jr. out there on their qualifying attempts. Just about 30 seconds left, though. Not sure if these drivers are going to have enough time to make it back down to finish their laps and try to take that top spot away. So it does indeed look like the quick time of 30:76 gonna hold up for Andrew Mraz. He will walk away with tonight's pole position for the Thoroughbred 175. And with that being said, race fans, we're going to step away real quick down trackside for the national anthem. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back with all the green flag action tonight from Kentucky Speedway.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in out, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Back trackside as drivers make their way through pre-race inspection. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and run down a little bit of official business here before we kick things off in tonight's Thoroughbred 175, your championship standings coming in to the final regular season race here in season number 2. There you can see Tommy Haynes with a decently comfortable lead over John Wimbish. That is going to be a very close battle for the regular season championship points. Nick Hunt, Justin Gann, Jason Ayerson, all pretty much safe right there inside of your top 5. Do want to keep our eyes on this battle back here, though. Brandon Freese, Andrew Mraz, Casey Duncan, Mike Franklin, Terry Kahn, Lee Staples, and Nigel Christensen. All of those drivers very close in the points and can make their way into the championship here with a race win. So even an outsider looking in has a shot here tonight to see if they can continue their championship hopes for this season, but looks like those top 5 are already pretty much solidly locked in. And one of those drivers that was on the outside looking in has done what he's needed to do so far here tonight. There you can see sitting on that pole position down there on the track, Andrew Mraz, just outside of that top 12. He's looking for a good race finish here tonight. Already going to pad his back pocket by taking that provisional pole here tonight. And it looks like just a few more drivers left to get through pre-race inspection as we get ready to set the field for tonight's Thoroughbred 175 here from Kentucky Speedway. And drivers indeed are making their final passes through inspection as you hear those familiar bells in the background. You know what time it is. You know what sound that means, race fans. It's time to run down tonight's starting lineup for the Thoroughbred 175 here in Swift Motorsports RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series, taking the pole position top spot inside row number 1, Lowline Racing's very own Andrew Mraz. Familiar man at the front here so far the past few weeks, Austin Hill gonna line up just to his outside. Row number 2 here tonight, the 25 of Todd Cray, followed by Michael. The 66 of Edward Bray gonna start in that 5th spot. The 44 of Jason Ayerson gonna line up right there in 6th tonight. In the 7th starting spot, the 56 of John Wimbish. Jonathan Cogswell will bring his 27 machine into the 8th starting position. 9th place goes to Nick Hunt, with Ty Gibbs rounding out your top 10. 11th starting spot here tonight, the 17 of Tommy Haynes, followed by the 5 of Lee Staples in that 12th spot. Row number 7, the 33 of Terry Kahn, followed by the 4 of Jim Ott. Brandon Fries and Mike Franklin gonna make up row number 8 here tonight, while Darren Clement and Casey Duncan slot in the 9th row. David Cameron gonna start in that 19th position, and rounding out your top 20, the 37 of Timothy Smith. Caleb Hetty gonna start in that 21st position. Justin Gann, little bit of a poor qualifying attempt for him. He'll have to start outside the top 20 all the way back in the 22nd starting position. There you can see Tom Marshall in 23rd. Stephen Ayers Jr. back in 24th. 25th starting spot goes to John Furness. Nigel Christensen gonna line up 26. Don Kidder, Shane Bliss right there, row 14. And in row 15, David Camara and Sheldon Carlson. That will round out the field here tonight. 30 drivers out there. 3 are in that admin tower, so 27 drivers gonna hit the starting grid. Gonna roll off here, field double file as we get set to fire things off for the first time here tonight. Ooh, man, racing in the Heartland, Kentucky Speedway. Gonna put on a heck of a race under the lights, so get ready to go. Mraz brings the field off of 4, ready to hit that restart box, ready to fire it off, and green flag flies for the first time here tonight from Kentucky Speedway. Well away from the field goes Andrew Mraz. Not a problem here getting up through the gears. Rest of the drivers all single file. We'll take a little look back through the pack here as these drivers continue side by side. John Wimbish right there trying to make up some ground, trying to see if he can't secure his regular season championship. Trying to take that from Tommy Haynes. We'll continue to watch that battle all throughout the night, but there you can see that 54 Monster Energy machine down at the bottom of the speedway. Gonna go almost 3 wide for a second there with Nick Hunt and Jonathan Cogswell. Ty Gibbs on his way to the front, already up 2 spots from where he started tonight's race, and we are only working lap number 2, so that 54 very fast. Going to take a little look a little further back through the field. There you see the 5 of Lee Staples battling with Jim Ott. Multiple little battles there. You can see a 2, almost 3-car battle just behind Lee Staples and Jim Ott. Casey Duncan, Darren Clement, Mike Franklin all battling for position. Now Gibbs passes Ayerson. Justin Gann able to get by Camara. That's a little back and forth swapping going on between Justin Gann and David Camara. We'll jump back to this little battle that continues to rage all the way outside of your top 20. This is back in 22nd, 23rd, 24th, all right there, nose to tail with each other, as we still have very close racing action here on the very first a few laps of tonight's race. There you can see Camara back down to the inside into turn number 3. Gonna gain a little bit of ground, not able to move up the racetrack. Again, gonna keep that high side rolling. And while we've got action in the back, can't forget about the action in the front. Andrew Mraz, your pole sitter, leads Austin Hill, Todd Cray right there. Still in third, Edward Bray sitting in fourth, and Michael in the 45 machine down to fifth place. He has dropped one spot from where he started tonight's race. Movers of the moment, John Wimbish, Ty Gibbs, as well as Terry Kahn. Brandon Freeze also up a few spots here tonight, so a few drivers out there making some moves, but David Camara has gained the most here tonight, up 6 spots. Now make that 8 as he takes the spot away from David Cameron. So Camara on the move. Caution, caution flag on the speedway. We'll try to see if we can't see how it all went down, what happened here, and it looks like the 5, Elise Staples, backwards on the backstretch. So we'll take a look here, see how it all went down, see how it all happened with our Turn 3 replay. Oh, and hard contact with that out. Oh, pancaking it hard on that inside wall. Jim Ott hard on that inside wall. One more look at this. There you can see it looks like Staples just thought maybe he was a little clear coming across the nose of Jim Ott. Nowhere to go for Ott as he's just, well, I mean, kind of is. It is what it is right there. You've seen it all happen. We'll go on to this onboard camera shot. There you can see, just not clear. And here's that, that's a rough lick right there. Jim Ott loses the engine almost immediately right there. Tries to keep it down and away and off of the track, out of everybody's way. Unfortunately, for those two drivers, it looks like it is going to be a rough go. We'll jump back at the front of this field as drivers make their way down pit road. First caution of the evening coming out on lap number 5 here tonight out of the 116 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. Everybody to pit road, so nobody willing to risk it just yet. Everybody going to stay on the same tire strategies here at the beginning of tonight's race. No real clear-cut dominant car as of yet. Your top 3 remain the way they were from the starting grid. Mraz, Hill, and Cray. The 45 of Michael losing a little bit of time, so that Toyota Supra right there lost a little bit of time there during those first 5 laps. We'll have to see how he goes. We'll have to see if anybody risks anything here on pit road, and looks like Tommy Haynes may be going with a 2-tire stop. He's going to gain a little bit of time, only in his box for less than 10 seconds. So that's about 5-6 seconds faster than the rest of the field. Mraz, Hill, and Cray work their way back onto the track, so they rejoined the way they left the raceway. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick commercial break as the field makes their way around this track. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Back trackside with a look back from that Ford Mustang pace car as the field makes their way into turn number 3. Field gonna get the 1 to go sign this time by, so we will see Those Ford Mustang pace car lights go out. Field set to fire things back off. Once again, here from Kentucky Speedway for the Thoroughbred 175. Looks like your starting order gonna be like this for the restart. Andrew Mraz with control over the field. He chooses that inside lane. Austin Hill just to his outside in the iHeartRadio 16 Toyota Supra. Todd Cray looking sweet in that Chips Ahoy ride. He'll slot in that third restarting position. John Wimbish right there to his outside, inside row number 3 for the restart. The 54 of Ty Gibbs. Tommy Haynes going to line up right there in 6th. Edward Bray, the 45 of Michael, going to start in the 8th spot here. Jason Harrison, Jonathan Cogswell round out your top 10 for this restart. Mraz playing a little bit of games with that pace car driver right there. Having a little fun with him, giving him a little rub on that left rear bumper. Field gonna start to close up them gaps as we get set to go back. Green flag racing here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. That's right, the RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series ready to fire things back off once again. Hill on the outside, Mraz nails the gas, green flag flies. Once again, here from Kentucky Speedway up through the gears, no problem for Mraz. Looks like Hill's going to take that second spot with ease. Battle for the third position. Ooh, Todd Cray squeezing Wimbish up the track. Close little battle right here. Look at these drivers all stacked up with each other. The 56 of John Wimbish up there now in that fourth spot. Ty Gibbs all over his rear deck lid looking for more on this early restart here. Wimbish goes up the hill just a little bit trying to get, in contact. And around goes Cray. Around goes John Wimbish through the grass into pit road. Oh no. How did they avoid all of that? My goodness. John Wimbish, what a run through the grass. They're able to keep it out of the pit wall. Looks like there is a pit road penalty there, but looks like they may get that taken care of and cleared up. Big time moment on the restart. Todd Cray goes sideways. Still some battles on the track after that. There you can see Andrew Mraz, who lost a ton of ground after that almost incident on the front stretch. He'll drop from the top spot all the way down to the 11th position, but right there with Cogswell and John Furness in front of him, he's got an opportunity to make his moves back up through this running order. Do want to also highlight Justin Gann right here. That 30 RB Riggs machine, the Toyota Supra, looking pretty good, up 7 spots now from where he started tonight's race, just inside your top 15. Meanwhile, at the front of this field, after early trouble on the restart for your top 2 drivers, the iHeartRadio Toyota Supra of Austin Hill takes the lead for the first time, so we do have a new race leader. 1 lead change so far here tonight. We'll keep that on the counter and try to keep track of all of that. Todd Cray, as we said, big time recovery after what could have been a big time moment. Looking for a few more battles that are beginning to develop. Todd Cray, he's slowly closing back in on that 54 machine of Ty Gibbs. There you can see Gibbs Toyota Supra running almost the same line as Austin Hill through this early portion of tonight's race as we work our way around the track to begin lap number 15 out of the one. And Ty Gibbs scrapes the wall coming through the tri-oval. Little bit of scrape, little bit of sparks fly here as we reach lap number 15 out of the 116 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. Todd Cray looking for more on the outside. Can he get that 25 up and around that 54? We'll have to wait and see how all that plays out. Your regular season points leader sitting just behind that 2-car battle in the 4th position. Tommy Haynes running strong here tonight in his 17 machine. More battles out there on the speedway, so we will highlight those as well. Look at this 2-car battle going on right here. Might as well make it a 3. Edward Bray, Jason Ayerson in the 45 of Michael Sarley out there running on the track in the 7th position. Terry Kahn just behind them, about 0.8 of a second. Then we do have a little bit of gap between some drivers, and then this 3-car battle as well on the track. Multiple different little battles all through over the speedway, and all of these matter. John Furnace, there you can see him. He's been to victory lane multiple times here this season in the RB Rigs Custom Computers Xfinity Series. Can Furnace try to get himself back into victory lane for the 4th time before the end of the regular season? We'll have to wait and see if he can get that done. Only one other driver here in the RB Rigs Custom Computers Xfinity Series has been to victory lane multiple times. The only other driver that has got that done is this man right here that has some company now. Austin Hill has been to victory lane 3 times so far this season, but Todd Cray right there in that 25 Chips Ahoy machine after avoiding carnage and chaos that could have happened on the front stretch just a lap or two after our restart. Cray able to get his way back around that 54 of Ty Gibbs and now run down Austin Hill. Cray has been to victory lane, so can he make his way by Austin Hill and slot himself into victory lane multiple times? We'll have to wait and see how all that shakes out. Looks like Ty Gibbs struggling a little bit there on the front stretch, going a little bit wide there, having a little bit of trouble coming off the corner exit. We'll take a look back at some more battles on the speedway. Drivers battling for some spots, but outside of your top 15. There you can see 2 now make it 3 drivers. John Wimbish all the way back in 18th after that long slide and Dukes of Hazzard moment here. We do have rally cars here on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator, iRacing.com. You got all different types of cars, all different types of trucks, machines, vehicles to drive, all the way from open wheel to rally cars. They've even got rally cross. You can get your dirt fix, or you can pound the pavement right here, just like Swift Motorsports, RB Rigs, Custom Computers, Xfinity Series, and Wimbish doing his best Xfinity impression of those rally cross machines. Doing a fine job at it, too. Surprised there wasn't a little bit more damage after that incident. We'll go back with some more battles here just outside of your top 10. Andrew Mraz, your pole sitter. Since dropping after that big-time moment on the restart, he has struggled to make his way back up through the field. John Furnace continues to put down some hot laps. Now he looks to the inside of Mraz. Going to be side by side through 3 and 4. Give the spot for the moment to that one of Furnace, but Mraz fighting back on the outside. The 28 has got some speed out there on that high lane. On the 28 with some trouble into the outside wall. That's going to send him even higher through the outside wall. And oh my goodness, what has happened to that 54 machine? Ty Gibbs looks like he may have had some trouble on the speedway, down on the pit road now. So tough break early in his debut race here with Swift Motorsports RB Rigs Custom Computers Xfinity Series. Ty Gibbs hard into the outside wall. That's going to put him back behind pit wall for just a handful of laps. We'll go back to the battle right here for the 3rd position on the track. Edward Bray, Jason Ayerson right there lined up with each other. You got a two-car battle just behind them. Terry Kahn, Tommy Haynes right there as well. And Jess, you beat me tonight. You definitely beat me tonight. What's up, ET? How you doing? How you feeling out there, Elijah? Hope you're ready to roll later on in the week. But here we go, side by side once again for that 3rd and final podium spot. Jason Ayerson looking to the inside of Edward Bray. Bray gonna lose a little bit of ground, not able to keep the momentum on that middle lane coming off of turn number 4 now through the tri-oval. Looks like Ayrson gonna take that third spot away and set sail. Terry Khan has got Tommy Haynes and Jonathan Cogswell all in tow with him. There you can see that City Chevrolet piloted by Terry Khan, the 33, running inside the top 5. So a good solid run here so far tonight for Khan, up 8 spots from where he started tonight's race, now running in that 5th position. We do have some more battles out there on the speedway, so why don't we jump back here to this one going on. We got Nick Hunt, Justin Gann, and Brandon Fries all lined up nose to tail on the speedway, heading back into turn 1, back through the center out of 2 here. Little bit of ground made up just in front of them. Casey Duncan hounding your pole sitter Mraz as he continues to fall through this field. Multiple battles on screen at the same time. There you can see a 2-car battle between Andrew Mraz and Casey Duncan. Justin Gann beginning to assert himself with this 3-car battle. Can he scoot himself away from this one and create yet another 3-car battle? Those drivers get nose to tail and try to make up a little bit of ground as they were fighting for a little bit. That let Mraz and Duncan kind of scoot away just a little bit, and look at that, Gann fast and pulling away from Nick Hunt and Brandon Fries. Back to the front with your race leader Austin Hill in the iHeart Radio 16 machine. There you can see they wounded, heavily damaged. Oh my goodness, that thing has, it has been through the wood chipper right there for Lee Staples. Those drivers out there, driver and crew, just trying to salvage anything they can. I don't think damage control is the proper word for this one. This is just Iron Man type stuff. You got to get what you can get here into the regular season right here tonight. So you got to give yourself every chance opportunity to pick up each and every point that you can, just in case it comes down to a point situation to get yourself into the championship. So big hats off to Staples inside that very torn up number 5. Since the skirmish on the restart that we had very early here, back around lap number 8 or so, these drivers have been running clean and green from that point on. Austin Hill has not been able to really step away from Todd Cray. Cray did fall back a little bit as he avoided some of that chaos at the front. Austin Hill able to scoot away from the field, but now slowly reeling them back in. Todd Cray right there running solid in second in that Chips Ahoy machine. Jason Ayrson has his Auto Owners Insurance number 44 sitting right there in the 3rd position. Nobody really around him at this point in time, so Ayrson kind of in no man's land all by himself. We do got some hot and heavy battles on the speedway. There you can see right now Terry Khan has Tommy Haynes and Jonathan Cogswell all closing in. Haynes right there, your regular season points leader coming into tonight's race. The 17 trying to make his way up inside the top 5. They'll make their way around the wounded number 5 of Lee Staples. And we're more than likely going to see that a ton of times here tonight. Staples hard impact and ended his chances at a solid finish, but still going to try to soldier on and get anything that he can out of it from the point standings. Cogswell right there hounding Haynes. Will jump back to a battle right here as it has continued over the past 5 to 6 laps. As now Casey Duncan finally able to make his way by that 28 of Andrew Mraz. So your pole sitter now back to the 10th position. And if he is not careful, Justin Gann and that RIGS number 30, the Toyota Supra, will hound him here in just a handful of laps as well. So driver's going to have to guard for position, and Mraz fighting back on that inside, but prevailing with the power move on the outside in that great house Toyota Supra. Casey Duncan takes that spot away. small little battles all over the speedway as we've got Justin Gann now closing in on Andrew Mraz. Mraz going to continue to run that bottom lane, force the drivers to take the long way around, force them to take the high side, force them to try to put the power down and make it happen, make some moves. Very tough here sometimes to make that outside run work from Kentucky Speedway. This is one of those progressively banked tracks, so as you move up the track, you can maintain the grip. So drivers with some very sweeping lines here as we go 3 wide for just a brief moment as these two drivers battling make their way by that wounded 5 of Lee Staples once again. Gann making it work, pulling them down the backstretch side by side. Drag race into turn number 3. The 30 of Gann has a little bit of advantage on that high side. Gonna put it back in the gas and right around that 28. Gann moves up into the top 10. Gonna jump back up to the front once again. Austin Hill still running strong in that top spot. The iHeartRadio Toyota Supra looks nice and clean out front. Todd Cray in the Chips Ahoy 25 closing in now. That distance just under a half a second separating those two drivers. We got 2 drivers to pit road this time by John Wimbish and Tom Marshall. Both of those drivers bringing their machines to pit road for 4 tires and fuel. Still closing that gap there. You can see Todd Cray slowly inching his way back to the back deck lid of Austin Hill. The gap closes to about 0.3 of a second, then opens back up to right at about that half of a second mark. So kind of yo-yoing right now at the front of this field as they continue this hard battle. David Camara now to pit road as well. Looks like scheduled pit stops down there for that 56 as well as the 91. Both of them in their pit box for a very short amount of time. And it looks like Tom Marshall, also being one of those drivers claimed here tonight, had some contact with the outside wall, and it looks like they are pushing his machine back behind the pit wall to work on it a little bit more. David Camara also down on pit road for an extended stay. Got the crew down there beating and banging away on that one. And Nigel Christensen, oh my goodness, what has happened to Christensen? He goes around as well after some contact with the wall. He'll go ahead and get it to pit road before the caution flag flies. So multiple drivers struggling on the late run here. About 34 laps on this second little green flag run here. Everybody in the field back on the pit road, back at lap number 6. So as the grips are wearing out, looks like Kentucky claiming a few victims here tonight. Gonna go back to this battle right here. There you can see Terry Gahn. He's got Edward Bray right behind him, and Gahn very slow on the speedway right now. Tommy Haynes has been able to make his way by. Andrew Mraz as well as Brandon Fries, both of those drivers to pit road. Lee Staples brings his 5 back to pit road once again. Staples going to fall further down the running order here tonight, and after this round of green flag pit stops, we will bring you a little bit of house cleaning, bring you up to speed on how everybody is running out there tonight, and it does look like more drivers to pit road. Todd Cray to pit road this time by Terry Kahn. Jonathan Cogswell joined them as Jason Ayerson right here now inherits that second position. John Furness back in third, but Austin Hill remains your race leader here. He's got his iHeartRadio Toyota Supra dialed in and controlling the pace, controlling the field here tonight from that top spot. He'll go ahead and peel off and come to pit road. What will Jason Ayerson do? He'll come to pit road. John Furness also to pit road. Tommy Haynes going to join these drivers on pit road, and that will leave Casey Duncan in the 18 out there on track. So the Great House Toyota Supra going to lead a lap, put a point in his back pocket, and that is one of those drivers that is on the outside of the top 12 looking in, so that point in his back pocket now for leading a lap may very well end up being the difference. We have seen multiple drivers here tied all throughout the season here, and if he can have himself a great run, this one little lap lead point could go a very, very long way. Gonna jump back out there. Let's take a look at this 56 of John Wimbish. That cheer wine for Toyota Supra. Fast week in, week out. Early to pit road, already been out there for about 10 laps on those 4 fresh Goodyear tires. And there you can see just the amount of ground that he was able to make up right there. Just about 8/10 off of John Furness, who is now making his way back up to speed. And oh my goodness, what has happened to pit road? Looking through the timing and scoring, and it looks like we've got multiple drivers down one lap now that were right there at the front of this field. My, how things have changed late in the going. Jason Ayerson gonna take control over the race. He's got himself a 1.5 second race advantage over John Furness. My goodness, what happened? Todd Cray, Austin Hill, both dealt with some problems on pit road, and they both find themselves off of the lead lap. Austin Hill pushed behind pit wall. He's going to be done for the night. The 16 dominating a stretch of tonight's race. And yet another fast driver claimed here tonight at Kentucky Speedway. So after the green flag round of pit stops, a little bit of house cleaning for you here tonight. We'll go ahead and throw up some more information for you over there on the left-hand side of your screen. Started tonight's race with 27 drivers on the starting grid. We have still got 20 drivers out there on the track with 16 left on the lead lap. Mike Franklin being scored the last driver on the lead lap. While there you can see on screen that 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. now being listed the first car one lap down. And my goodness, Todd Cray right there battling with Austin Hill for a top spot. Both of those drivers having trouble. A little bit more terminal for Hill out there tonight as he is still back behind pit wall. Cray able to keep himself in the race, but he is outside of the lead lap, outside of your top 15. Cray with a good spot coming into tonight's race, but you always want to finish out the regular season on a high note, and a high note right now for your race leader out there tonight. I tell you what, let's go ahead and throw up some information on him for you. Out of Carlton, Michigan, there you can see the 46-year-old Dragon's Garden and Pure Ink sponsor JB Motorsports 44. Jason Ayerson leading tonight's a Thoroughbred 175 race number 10 in season number 2 right here for the RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series. Ayerson with right at about a second advantage over John Furness. Both of those drivers on the pit road back at lap number 42, so no difference in the lap count on the tires. Just a matter of if Ayerson is pushing it a little bit harder than the rest of the competition. We'll have to wait and see how all that shakes out, how he fares in the long run. Terry Kahn right there in the third spot. That City Chevrolet 33 machine, the Camaro, looking good out there as it's a Chevy-dominated podium 3 at the front of this field. First Ford on the field, running in the 4th position. Jonathan Cogswell in the 27 machine. Gotta go a long way back here to find your first Toyota. So we'll highlight your highest running Toyota driver with the Toyota Cares. The spotlight looks like Justin Gann is your highest running Toyota driver, the 32-year-old Virginia Beach native out of 4X Racing, sponsored by RB Riggs, has moved his way up through the field here tonight, up 15 spots from where he started tonight's race. He is your Toyota Care's highest running Toyota driver. Going to take a look at the highest mover, the biggest mover of the race so far here, and not very much more ground for him to make up. John Furness right here, that one Havoline machine, up into the second spot, up 23 positions from where he started tonight's race, all the way back there in 25th. So heck of a run here for Furness. 24th, I apologize. So heck of a run by Furness, and he's only got one more spot to take over, and that will put him into that top spot. Jason Harrison has control of this race up there in the top spot. There you can see him 1.1 seconds in front of Furness, with 1.5 back to Khan. Looks like the 45 of Michael Sarley gonna come to pit road. Tough break. He's already down and in to his box, so we're gonna lose another driver to the race leader. Now just 15 drivers left on the lead lap. Gonna jump back with this battle right here between Justin Gann as well as Casey Duncan. Duncan to pit road 2 laps later than Gann. So are we seeing those 2-lap difference tires really make that big of a difference, as Darren Clement right there as well in his Ford Mustang? So we've got 2 Toyotas with 3 Fords packed up just behind him, and it looks like it's pretty much like a Toyota Ford battle here, all the way back from about 7th to the 13th position, all the way to make that 15th. Nothing but Toyota and Fords right there from 7th to 15th on the speedway. We've got 3 Chevys leading this field, and Lee Staples has some more trouble here tonight. He goes around once again off of turn 4 and right down pit road he goes. We stay green flag racing here tonight from Kentucky Speedway. Gonna go back to a battle inside your top 3. There you can see right now that 17 of Tommy Haynes, hounded by the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell. Edward Bray just off in the distance. There you can see Stephen Ayers Jr. packed up running just behind Cogswell. So lap traffic right there with some of these drivers. And Terry Kahn right there in that 33 City Chevrolet machine. He's got Todd Cray right there as well. Cray still being scored 1 lap down, still fighting for his chances to get back up there into lead lap position. Cray sitting in the lucky dog position right now, and he has got to keep himself tucked in with these front runners if he's going to want to try to keep himself right there. And Cray actually going to go ahead and come down pit road this time by Jason Ayerson out to a good lead here, 0.7 of a second, just about a second in front of John Furness, running in a solid second position. Tommy Haynes in third, Terry Kahn fourth, and Jonathan Cogswell round out your top 5 running order right here as we work our way around the track. Lap number 58 out of the 116 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. We'll put 58 on the board. With just about half of this race already under our belt, who's going to dominate this second part of the race? Looks like it may be a hot and heavy battle between these 2 drivers right here, because the top 2, Jason Ayerson, John Furness, they have themselves almost a 5-second gap back to Tommy Haynes. So they've got some gap to play with. They've got some gap to manage. They can elect to do a few things, maybe run a little bit lighter on the tires right here, maybe try to stretch this thing on out, try to have those fresher tires a little bit later than the drivers that are behind them, that are going to have to pull a pit strategy to try to get up there to them anyway. So a little bit of a double-edged sword here for your top 2 drivers in tonight's Thoroughbred 175 from Kentucky Speedway. It's the RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series. We'll take a look back with a 3-car battle. That's 5th, 6th, and 7th on the track. Terry Kahn, Edward Bray, and Casey Duncan all lined up nose to tail. They have about 2 to 3 tenths of a second separating each one of those drivers. Casey Duncan looking to the bottom, gonna now slide right in behind the 66 of Bray. Bray on the bottom side, gonna take the spot away from Kahn, as Kahn's gonna lose 2 spots down the front stretch. Looking to the inside, hard charging. Casey Duncan gonna root Edward Bray off of that bottom lane, and he'll take that spot away now through 3 and 4 with fairly easy right there. Way up to the outside wall, look for the crossover. Oh, right across the nose of Bray. Casey Duncan slamming the door, coming through the triumphant across the start-finish line. That will put Bray now back to 6th as Duncan moves into your top 5. Back at the front, though, slowly closing in. We've seen it right at almost a second difference between Jason Ayrson and John Furness. Now that battle just above a half a second. So slowly but surely, Furness closing in. Justin Gann to pit road, so it does look like green flag pit cycle underway once again. So your second round of green flag pit stops now underway. Who's going to try to make this shortcut work, the short pit work, the undercut work? Looks like the 30 RB Riggs machine of Gann gonna attempt to try to gain a few positions, with coming to pit road a little bit earlier than the rest of the drivers. We have seen drivers able to go right around 40 laps or so on the, or 38 laps, I apologize, on the fuel and tires. Excuse me, and Gann well underneath that. Has he found a new fuel and tire strategy? We'll have to keep our eye on that as he makes his way back up to speed off of the back stretch. Gann gonna slot back in the 17th spot, but he does have everybody in front of him gonna have to hit pit road once again here in the next, I would probably say, 5 to 8 laps. The rest of the field will be making their way to pit road, so gonna keep our eye on the timing and scoring and just see how the speed difference is between Gann on those fresh tires and your race leader, man on screen right here, that 44 of Jason Ayrson. Gonna go back to that 3-car battle once again. Darren Clement trying to take a spot away from Cogswell, and gonna do so. Clement now into the top 5 as Cogswell falling back 2 positions now into the 6th spot, and if he's not careful, Edward Bray gonna be right there to pounce as well. Terry Kahn falling off the speed here late into this longer green flag run here, our second green flag run of the evening. Drivers already making one green flag pit stop, and we're gonna have to keep our eye out there because the pit road police have popped quite a few drivers here tonight. The 56 Toyota Super, piloted by John Wimbish, gonna bring that Cheerwine machine down to pit road this time by. So yet another lead lap driver pulling the trigger on his pit stop time. So we'll see how that shakes out for Wimbish as well. Terry Kahn, Brandon Freeze, both of those drivers to pit road this time by. Mike Franklin also going to join them. Pretty quiet night for that 82 of Mike Franklin, but solidly running here tonight in that 11th position before he headed down to pit road. So a quiet but productive night here for Franklin. And there you can see off on the left-hand side of your screen a very long list of drivers out of tonight's race. When you think of Kansas Speedway, you don't think of a track that claims a ton of victims, but claiming multiple victims as we see another driver into that outside wall off of turn number 2, the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell. He's going to join that list of drivers that has had contact with that outside wall off of turn number 2, and that has been the hot spot here tonight. You're really used to seeing drivers get loose there on corner exit of turn number 2, but here tonight looks like with the weather conditions in the track right now, looks like loose is not what they're fighting. Looks like they are fighting a very tight car on corner exit. And up into the outside wall, a little bit of scrape, no harm, no foul. Really not a lot of damage down that right side for the 27. So Cogswell going to regroup, regather himself, refocus, and try to head back towards the front. Meanwhile, close little battle going on right here between Tommy Haynes and Casey Duncan. Duncan has been very fast on the track over the past few laps. And speaking of fast over the past few laps, Justin Gann, driver that hit pit road first, back on lap number 62. Last time by a 31.83. Your race leader turning in a 32.67, so right there, about 1.3 seconds faster than your race leader. And Gann is not the fastest on the track right now. Terry Kahn, John Wimbish, as well as Brandon Fries, they're turning in just about a tenth or two faster laps than Gann as they pitted about 5 laps later. So small little differences in the tire strategy. We'll go ahead and throw some of that information up for you over there on the bottom right-hand side of your screen here in just a moment once we get that all sorted out and worked out. There you go, your pit strategy off to the right-hand side of your screen, and there you can see just the amount of difference on the tires that we're talking about here, and that's just inside your top 8. All of those drivers pretty much running around the same amount of tires. But the big difference going to begin to show here after this round of green flag pit stops. Justin Gann to pit road early, then we had some drivers come to pit road about 5 laps or 5 or 6 laps after Gann came to pit road, and Gann actually came to pit road a handful of laps after Andrew Mraz, your pole sitter driver, being scored off the lead lap in that lucky dog position, as now Nigel Christensen also going to lose a lap. Justin Gann going to take that spot away from Andrew Mraz, so your pole sitter continues to have some struggles here tonight, running in the 11th spot, 1 lap down. Mraz did have a little bit of a lead over Gann, but slowly Gann was able to make his way by. With, as I said and as I mentioned, there was about 5 to 7 lap difference on the tires there. And it looks like right at the 6 lap difference on the tires between Justin Gann and Andrew Mraz, and that's going to translate into about a half a second on the speedway as John Furness takes over the race lead as they hit pit road. Jason Ayrson slow on the pit road. That could come back to haunt Ayrson. 3 drivers going to stay out on track yet to hit pit road. Now make that 4 as Casey Duncan, Darren Clement, Tommy Haynes, and Jonathan Cogswell all stay out on track. New race leader, 3rd different race leader, 4th different race leader, I apologize. Casey Duncan to the front of this field. Lap number 77 on the board here. What will Duncan do? Looks like he's going to go ahead and stay out on the speedway yet again. And look at the man right behind him. This is what I'm talking about with that undercut, as Casey Duncan has been out there quite a long time compared to when Justin Gann had came down pit road. It does look like it is upwards of 15 laps or so. So Gann making up a ton of ground right now, almost able to unlap himself very late in the going here tonight. There you go, side by side with your race leader, and Gann's gonna put himself back on the lead lap. But look at John Furness, man, very fresh tires. He was the pit road just 4 laps ago. Watch how quickly he does away with that 30 of Justin Gann right down to the bottom and right around, no problem. Not gonna hold him up one bit. Gann gonna drop a spot to John Furness. Both of those drivers running inside of your top 5, even after their green flag pit stops and even after some of the drivers still yet to hit pit road. Casey Duncan still out on the track as Nick Hunt brought his 00 Toyota Supra down to pit road that time by. Jason Harrison also going to make his way right on by Justin Gann, and I said it right there coming to pit road when I seen it on the timing and scoring where John Furness was able to make up some ground there on entry to pit road, was able to actually lead Jason Harrison onto pit road, as Harrison taking a conservative approach here at what very well may be the final green flag stop of the night. Harrison going to give up that top spot, and he's going to give up 1 second to John Furness, so he's going to have to try to close that distance, close that gap. But look at Andrew Mraz. Your pole sitter fell way outside of the top 5, all the way outside of the top 10 at one point in time, and with some fuel and tire strategy, he's got his 28 Ford Mustang now sitting inside the top 5 once again in the 4th spot. Justin Gann with a big night here tonight as well, up 19 spots from where he started tonight's race. Only driver with some bigger moves in the night is the man on screen, John Furness, leading tonight's race up 24 positions from where he started. Furness coming to the front late when it all matters. Just under 35 laps remaining here tonight from Kentucky Speedway. And I tell you what, as we begin to head into the final stretch here tonight, we're going to take a quick commercial break. You won't miss any of the action live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Gonna go to your Swift side by side, so we'll mute the mics for just a moment, pay a few bills, but you'll stay with all the action right here from Kentucky Speedway.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
back track side. As we were away at the commercial break, we did see a few battles out there on track. We'll go ahead and highlight some of them. Justin Gann gives up a spot now into the outside wall. So Gann gonna be on that list of drivers making some contact with the outside wall. Darren Clement able to make up some ground and put that 32 machine up into your top three. So we've got 2 Chevys, followed by a Ford, followed by 1 Toyota. So Justin Gann is your Toyota Cares highest running Toyota Super driver out there in the field here tonight for the RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series in the Thoroughbred 175. And Gann gonna break away for pit road for the final time here tonight. He's gonna get the fuel he needs to make it to the end. What will the drivers in front of him do? While the 56 of John Wimbish gonna come to pit road as well. Working our way into the final 25 laps of tonight's race, we begin lap number 91 out of the 116 scheduled in the official race distance. We'll jump up to this little battle that's starting to heat up. Jason Ayrson slowly closing in on your race leader, John Furness. That race lead was over a 1 second mark at one point in time, and Jason Ayrson has slowly clicked off some faster laps. Last time by was 5/100ths of a second faster than John Furness. And, well, 5/100ths doesn't sound like much, but when you do it over the course of 30 laps, it starts to add up. It begins to close the gaps. It begins to close that distance. Tommy Haynes involved in a battle as well. We'll jump back to this one, and Haynes and Brandon Freeze comes to pit road. Haynes now all by himself, so that battle goes away pretty quickly with the pit stop out of the 21 of Brandon Freeze. Andrew Mraz also down to pit road. Justin Gann gonna be scored as the first driver 1 lap down. And after we get through this green flag run of pit stops, after this green flag cycle is over, we'll give you a little bit of house cleaning once again here from Kentucky Speedway. Back at the front, though, with your race leader, John Furness, continues to pound the pavement here tonight and lead quite a handful of laps. There you can see John Wimbish. He is back on track and back up the speed with those 4 fresh Goodyear tires, and he is almost back on to the lead lap, trying to get there as quickly as he can. Mike Franklin gonna bring his 82 machine to pit road. What does your race leader do? He's gonna stay out on pit road for yet another lap. Will we see these drivers try to stretch the fuel as far as they can? John Furness can afford to kind of roll the dice here tonight in tonight's final regular season race here in season number 2 for the RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series, right here for Swift Motorsports, your home for everything Swift, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Do appreciate each and every one of you tuning in tonight. And if you haven't already, go ahead, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every time you stop by, whether you're just sliding through to say hey, or you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family. We do appreciate you stopping through each and every time, each and every day. Jason Ayrson gonna bring his 44 machine to pit road. Last time by does look like John Furness slowing and gonna bring his 1 machine to pit road. What does this 32 of Darren Clement do? Does he stay out and try to lead a lap? No, looks like he's gonna bring it to pit road as well. Tommy Haynes in the 17 machine. What does Haynes do? Your regular season points leader. He's going to go ahead and peel off the track and come down to pit road, so that's going to leave the field in the hands of this man right here. What does Casey Duncan do? Duncan going to stay out on the track. He'll take another lap lead in the back pocket. And this is going to be quite a difference on those tires for these drivers. Looks like Justin Gann almost able to close in on Jason Ayrson, so Ayrson will possibly take control over this race. We'll have to wait and see. Looks like John Furness now getting back up to speed. Gonna be a close run here towards the end. Can Furness get up through the gears and get it wound up and going? There you can see him just off in front of Jason Ayrson, but Ayrson closing that gap very, very quickly. Furness able to get on and off pit road very well in his box for just 15 seconds flat, so Furness pit crew getting the job done there on the money stop. Under 20 laps to go here tonight in the Thoroughbred 175. That's right, 170 miles around this, 175 miles around this 1.5, or just shy of a 1.5 mile speedway, we should say, here at Kentucky Motor Speedway. And the weather has been beautiful here tonight. Let's take one more look at it. There you can see that weather report. Track temperature just about 84 degrees, so a very grippy track out here tonight. That may very well be why we have seen some of these drivers be a little bit more on the tight side as opposed to being on the looser side, as we have seen over multiple different races here at Kentucky Speedway. And you got to ask yourself, Dave, are any of these drivers in the Ayers Eye Racing Paints Arkham Menard Series or the Performance Motorsports Truck Series here in Swift, are any of these drivers watching how this race is unfolding, watching how it is all playing out? Usually we see those short pits, those undercuts really, really pan out into some very big gains. But tonight, in the RB RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series, it looks like even though drivers are pulling those undercuts, they are not gaining a ton of ground. And I wonder if any of the crew chiefs there for any of the drivers in those two series here, as we're going to run this track, I believe it is the third race in the chase, and as we look down, it absolutely is the third race in the chase. So that will be the first race in round number 2 of the chase for the Ayers Eye Racing Paints Arkham Menard Series, as well as Performance Motorsports Truck Series right here for Swift on the Turn 3 Racing Network. These drivers have to get through tonight with just 15 laps remaining before they will be able to take a little bit of break, relax just a little bit, and reset, rejuvenate, refocus, and try to chase down a championship. And look at this, Casey Duncan in the 18. He's going to continue to stay out there on track. Duncan back onto pit road, back at lap number 79, so the fuel is beginning to run low. And I'm trying to do the calculations right here, trying to get it all figured out. And it looks like Duncan's going to have to stretch this one to about the 44 laps on his fuel and tires, 46 laps, I should say, in order to keep this thing out there on the track to the end of tonight's race. We haven't seen any driver go that far on fuel all night long. We'll have to wait and see how it all pans out, how it plays out. But Duncan enjoys an 11-second race advantage there. You can see him slide right behind John Wimbish and try to save himself a little bit of fuel in the draft. We'll see him try to keep pace right here with just 13 laps remaining. Can Duncan save enough fuel in his Toyota Supra? There you can see John Furness slowly making his way around the track off of turn number 4 back through towards the tri-oval. He is the second place runner, and he is closing that gap rather quickly now. Just 10 seconds between Casey Duncan and John Furness, and now Jason Ayrson. There you can see him just off in the background. He's slowly starting to click off some faster laps than Furness last time by, 2/10 faster than John Furness. So Ayrson on his way. He'll get there, but will he have enough time to try to make a pass as well? A lot of drivers inside your top 5 have made some huge gains in the field running tonight. Up 17 spots from where he started from. Your race leader, Casey Duncan, leading this field. The 18 machine has yet to come to pit road for his final stop, or has he? We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. John Furness up 23 spots from where he started tonight. Driver in that fifth spot, Darren Clement will go ahead and highlight this driver on screen right there. You see, there you have it, a little bit of information from Darren, that Ford Mustang driver, up 12 spots from where he started. Oh, and hard impact with the outside wall. He'll collect a stripe here tonight, and that seems to be the theme. A little bit of house cleaning with just 10 laps to go here tonight in Swift Motorsports RB Rigs Custom Computers Xfinity Series. 27 drivers took to the starting grid here tonight. We've still got 17 drivers out there on the lead lap with just 13 left on that lead lap. And scratch that, we've got less than that, only your top 10 now on the speedway out there on the lead lap. John Wimbish being scored, the last driver on the lead lap, while Jonathan Cogswell in his 27 Ford Mustang is listed in the lucky dog position. We will have a green-white checkered attempt if we need it. But the man on screen right now is hoping this thing stays clean and green to the end. Or actually, at this point in time, with all of these drivers making their pit stops very early, they've all got a lot of laps on their tires. So if we were to get a caution right now, it would play right in to the hands of Casey Duncan as well as Nick Hunt. Both of those drivers last to pit road back on lap number 79 and lap number 78 respectively. So both of those drivers playing the pit road games here tonight, rolling the dice, hoping to get a late race caution, but it looks like this one will stay green to the end. But if that caution flag does fly, it will change everything. It will mix things up, and it will put everybody back onto the same tires and fuel strategy. I believe your top 10 all would come down pit road for those 4 fresh Goodyears just to give themselves the best chance they can have getting to the end. And as we went about halfway through these final few laps here after the green flag pit stop by John Furness running in the second position, he is now down under 4 seconds behind Casey Duncan with 6 laps to go. Can Duncan somehow stretch the fuel? Can he somehow keep himself out there in that top spot? We'll have to wait and see, as John Furness has been able to step away from Jason Ayerson. Ayerson losing some ground here on this green flag run. Ayerson now down 2.3 seconds back from John Furness, so he will be in a solid third place because Nick Hunt is a good 5 to 7 seconds back behind John Furness. So back behind Jason Ayerson, I do apologize. So, Nick Hunt really making up some ground here as well. He's got himself a little bit of a gap back to Darren Clement, who is starting to close in on him. But Hunt going from the rear of the field now all the way back inside the top 5 for the moment with just 5 laps to go. High five last time by for your race leader. Casey Duncan gonna head back down into the front stretch to the stripe. 4 laps remaining this time by. Very, very close. Furness down to just 1.5 seconds between himself and Casey Duncan. And I do not believe this 18 is going to be able to keep Furness behind him. Closing fast battle now just a half a second away for that top spot. And I do believe Furness is going to just absolutely blow the doors off of Casey Duncan on those much older tires. A valiant effort by driver and crew chief, but just not panning out. Duncan gonna lose that top spot as new race leader. The one Havoline machine piloted by John Furness gonna take that top spot back away with just 3 laps to go. Not a whole lot of battles to speak of on the speedway, but we will jump back to this one right here, as now Jason Ayerson, he's going to go ahead and jump right around Casey Duncan with just 2 laps remaining. Duncan falls to third. It does look like Casey Duncan will be able to keep this third and final podium spot. He does have quite a bit of a gap back to his nearest running competitor, Darren Clement, in the 32 machine up in the fourth spot, but he is about 8 seconds off of Casey Duncan. So with the popsicle sticks on display last time by for your race leader, John Furness, looks like Duncan's gamble may pay off if he has enough fuel as the one comes to the stripe, white flag in the air. Final lap here tonight for the Thoroughbred 175 from Kentucky Speedway, right here in the RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series. We've seen a lot of drivers involved in a lot of incidents with the outside wall. Kansas claiming multiple victims here tonight, but John Furness able to navigate his way through the troubles, navigate his way through the lap traffic, and navigate his way through the green flag pit cycles into the front of the field, capturing the flag. Your race winner, the one of John Furness, getting the job done once again here in the RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series. That's going to give John Furness his 4th win of the year in the regular season, and that very well, not going to give him a shot to lead the championship standings at the end of the regular season, even after the race win and the bonus points are all calculated. But still, heck of a job, heck of a run here. And do want to keep in mind there are a few other drivers out there with some heck of a runs. Casey Duncan playing the fuel strategy, needing a great finish here tonight. He's able to do so. Slot his 18 machine up in that 3rd position. So Duncan walking away, paying off with some strategy. And there you can see John Furness enjoying a little bit of celebration, smoke show out there on the track here from Kentucky Speedway. And with that being said, race fans, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, get things set up for your post-race interview. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. back at the Speedway after an extended little commercial break to set up your post-race interviews. Looks like we do have all that ready to go and ready to get done. So why don't we go ahead and fire things off with your third place finisher here tonight, winning it on a fuel run. I say winning it as in, big accomplishment, man. There, a third place here tonight. Casey Duncan, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Dave.
Hey, man, I know I said it was a race, kind of like a win there. That fuel strategy, nobody else had it figured out, and it was almost the right call. How you feel after that fine run here tonight?
I needed a good run coming into the night. I was on the bubble in the points, but only had by one for the chase. So I had to do something a little different tonight. And pit strategy was telling me I could do 35 laps on fuel, and I'm like, hold my beer. I can do more than that. So I did 38 each stop, and that last one I only did 37, and I ran out of fuel coming to the line.
So with you saying not really in a safe spot with the championship standings coming into tonight's race, was that a direct reaction to that being that close to you're just not sure, so you kind of had to roll the dice and see if it would work?
The original plan was just to stay ahead of Mike Franklin because he's the guy behind me on the bubble. And after the caution, we started talking about fuel, how many laps we can get, and my car just seemed to be able to get 38 laps, and I was able to keep running. And so I started nursing it a little bit on the second run so I could get the 37 laps to go. Then I'd be fine and just gas it and run it all the way out to the finish. But somewhere along the line, my fuel mileage changed, and so I was half a lap short.
Well, we do know how sometimes fuel mileage changes with just maybe if you're just on the gas a hair sooner, a hair longer, things like that. But regardless of that, man, you had a great run here tonight. You made your way up through the field, and then with the fuel strategy, going to finish in the final podium spot here tonight. But let's look a little bit forward now that you're pretty much in the chase. It's not official yet, but we can go ahead and assume that you are in. We head off to fire things off first round at Atlanta Motor Speedway. How tough is that track going to be to start off your chase hopes?
I like Atlanta. It's a lot like I like the 1.5 mile tracks, the big cookie cutters and whatnot. I'm really good at saving my tires, being able to run longer runs than a lot of people. As that run went tonight, I was able to catch people on a long run. So hopefully we'll get those long runs at Atlanta.
All right, Casey, my man. Well, it was a pleasure watching you try to get the job done, stretching that fuel here tonight. Unfortunately, that strategy not panning completely out for you, but still walking away with a fine run here, third place here tonight. So before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on that 18?
Yeah, the whole 4X team working together tonight, talking me through this race, and you got this, telling me when to let go and work the gas. And Great House, iHeartRadio, Serve Pro, and Functional Fitness, all of our sponsors that we have on our cars every week. It's fun to run with these guys.
All right, Casey, my man. Well, again, congratulations with a great run here tonight and keeping yourself in your championship hopes and dreams alive. So we'll look forward to trying to catch up with you at Atlanta.
All right, man. Have a good night.
There you have it. Final words from the driver out of Seattle, Washington, the 54-year-old Casey Duncan, gonna continue his shot at the championship here with a great third-place run. He will continue his championship hopes and dreams. So with that being said, we'll now move on to the driver that finished and walked away in that second spot. Let's see if we can't catch up with the fast 44 of Jason Harrison. Is Dave in the booth? You got a copy?
Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. After a great race and a great run by a lot of different drivers out there tonight, how you feeling after another solid run?
Man, can you believe it? I'm finally back. It's been since early in the season to get to talk to you. I'm ecstatic. I'm ready to go celebrate and slam me a beer and just have some fun tonight.
Well, it
I
has.
feel like I won.
I hear you. Well, I mean, you did win in a sense. You came into tonight's race sitting in a very good spot for the championship standings as far as moving on for your chase hopes and dreams and your championship run. A solid finish here tonight guarantees that. So it's been a long time to get back up here, but you've been right there all year long. A great run here tonight. As you said, it feels like a win for you. So do you think you may be able to carry this momentum into Atlanta in 2 weeks, or will that little bit of a layoff kind of wear some of this excitement off?
Gosh, I hope I can carry some of this momentum into Atlanta. I really like that racetrack. It wears out your tires. It beats the heck out of you in the car. It's just a lot of fun to run with the multiple grooves. And gosh, 2 weeks, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready to go tonight. Let's saddle them back up, man. I'm ready.
We'll have to get a hold of the competition director, see if we can make that happen. But I'm not sure all the drivers going to have enough cars in their hauler to make that trip.
So get him on the phone. I'll be the only one out there. By golly, it'll be a checker.
Well, Jason, man, it's been an absolute pleasure watching you all year long. You've had some great runs. You've been up here in the booth multiple times, and now you're able to get back once again. So congratulations on the second place run here tonight in the Thoroughbred 175, the last regular season race. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on that 44?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to thank my wife for letting me get this crazy contraption. My buddy Jim out there, we practice together. He's taught me so much over the time. I like to give a shout out to my band of misfit friends that keep pushing for me every week. My mother down in Florida who's watching and texted and said congratulations on the great run. And you up in the booth and everybody who puts this on. It's a lot of fun. I really appreciate y'all.
Well, man, we do appreciate the kind words, and you're what makes it easy for us, so you guys just continue to keep doing what you're doing, and we'll continue to try to catch up with you throughout this championship run.
All right, tell John, look in his mirror, I'm coming.
A little bit of, I don't want to say trash talking, but putting the field on notice. Jason Ayerson with another fine run, and he is coming for that championship, putting everybody in the chase on notice. It's his time. It's his time to shine. He's going to make that run for that championship. And let's see if we can't catch in with the driver that walked away first tonight with the race win, the one of John Furness. That makes it 4 on the season. How you doing? How you feeling after another winning performance?
Feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
Man, I'm good as always when I'm watching y'all.
Well, I hope you had a good show tonight. I thought that was a pretty good race. So, yeah, it's fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely a good race. Long green flag runs there after we had a little bit of a caution go on there towards the beginning of the race. We did have that little bit of an issue at the front. When all that went down at the front, what were you thinking about the rest of the night? Did you think we may end up seeing a little bit more calamities or chaos out there from the speedway?
Honestly, I did. I thought the caution would have come out when the 28 spun on the front stretch there, but it didn't, and a lot of cars took damage, and I think that just kind of spread everybody out. I don't know, but the caution didn't come out. I took a little damage, and we kept on running, and I thought for sure we'd have another caution, but we didn't, and I actually prefer it that way. So it's nice to get some green flag stops in there and have to manage the tires and try and complete a full fuel run. It makes it a lot more interesting, a lot more fun for me.
Absolutely, man, especially when the tire strategies get a little bit all over the board like they kind of did here tonight. You were able to keep the lead even after pitting much later than the drivers that were around you. What made you make that call to not come to pit road right when they did? They didn't kind of pull you down there as we typically see the green flag pit cycles work out. Did your crew chief know something about them tires?
Yeah, man. He said they were specially matched, staggered perfect, so that I was able to make a good long green flag run, make good use of them. But I always try and run it out all the way as far as I can. on a fuel load there, just so I can maybe trap some guys lap down if there's a caution or whatnot, and set myself up to be in best position later in the race by making the middle stages as far as I can get, and that seemed to work out for us really well the last couple weeks. Didn't work out so well the first few weeks, but lately it's been working out real well for us.
Yeah, and I mean, walking into tonight's race, you were sitting in a pretty safe spot to head towards the chase and head towards chasing after your championship here in season number 2 for the RB RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series. So with this 4th race win on the season, you're definitely in the chase. So we'll go ahead and make that an official statement. We don't have it officially from the admins yet, but yeah, you're up in there, so we'll just keep on moving on that one. First 3 races, though, in the chase, John. We've got Atlanta, Michigan, and then Charlotte for the first race in round number 2. Out of those 3 races, where do you think we may see this one back in victory lane?
I think you're going to see it in more than one of those races, honestly.
Uh-oh, shots fired field. Better watch out.
Yeah, we've got a lot of momentum right now, feeling good driving this car. We go to Atlanta, that is definitely one of my favorite tracks. And then if we go to Michigan after that, I have more laps at Michigan than any other track ever. So really get around that place pretty good. I'm actually from Michigan, so I've run a ridiculous amount of laps there. And Atlanta's right in my wheelhouse. Got to manage those tires for that long run and stay out of the throttle, make it work late in the run. So that'll be fun. And Charlotte's actually a real good track for us too. I do really well on the 1.5 miles and the short tracks. So looking forward to that for sure.
All right, John. Well, I know we're looking forward to it as well, and want to take a moment just to say, congratulations on another great race win here tonight in SwiftMotorSports RB RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series. We won't keep you much longer so you can enjoy the celebrations here tonight. So before we let you go, you want to give any special thanks, shout-outs, love yous, thank anybody else on that one?
Yeah, first and foremost, shout out to you doing a great job in the booth and the league admins for putting this deal together. Give a shout out to Jason and Casey. Those guys had really good runs tonight. Jason was fast, and Casey had a good strategy at the end there. I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to pull it off. So those guys did a great job tonight. And then all the like I said, all the league admins and my team, North Force Racing. Hopefully we do well going forward in this whole RTP gig. And yeah, that's about it.
All right, my man. Well, again, congratulations on a great run tonight and a great regular season, and we'll look forward to catching up with you during the chase and we'll see if you can't fulfill that. We're going to win more than just one of those first 3.
I sure hope so, man. Wish me luck. I'm going to need it.
Yes, sir. You have a good one, and elbows up. Good luck until we see you again.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
There you go. Final words from the driver walking away from the track with his 4th win of the season, closing out the regular season here in season number 2 for the RB RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series. John Furness walking away like a peacock out there, strutting his stuff, getting it done the right way. My goodness, what a run it was here tonight from Kentucky Speedway. Multiple drivers with some great runs. Casey Duncan, that fuel strategy paying off. He'll finish in a podium spot. My goodness, what a night it was to finish the regular season here in season number 2 for the RB RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series. So with all that being said, not very much left to do here from Kentucky Speedway. Looks like producers have hit those familiar buttons. You know what that sound means. It's time to run down some official business here tonight. Walking away with the race win here in the Thoroughbred 175 for SwiftMotorSports RB RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series. John Furness takes the checkered flag. Finishing in a solid second place here tonight, the 44 of Jason Harrison, and rounding out your podium spots, the 18 of Casey Duncan. Darren Clement gonna finish in 4th, while the 00 of Nick Hunt rolls the dice and he walks away with a top 5. Justin Gann gonna slot home in the 6th spot, while Brandon Freeze finishes in 7th. The 17 of Tommy Haynes gonna walk away from the track tonight in the 8th position. The 56 of John Wimmish gonna finish in the 9th spot, while Edward Bray and the 66 team finish in the top 10. Jonathan Cogswell gonna walk away from the track in the 11th position. Mike Franklin finishing solidly tonight inside the top 15 in the 12th position. The 33 City Chevrolet, piloted by Terry Kahn, gonna slot home in 13th, while 14th place goes to your pole sitter, Andrew Mraz. Nigel Christensen gonna slot home in the 15th spot, while David Cameron walks away in 16th. 17th goes to the 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. Lee Staples with some early trouble. The 5 finishes 60 laps down in the 18th position. 19th spot goes to Todd Cray. Michael Sarlee has his 45 machine in the 20th spot. Technical issues bringing Austin Hill to his knees. That iHeartRadio 16 Toyota Super gonna finish tonight's race back in the 21st position. David Camara walking away from the track in 22nd, while Tom Marshall finishes in 23rd. Sheldon Carlson gonna finish tonight's race in the 24th position, while Ty Gibbs has some trouble, finishes 95 laps down, so that 54 Monster Energy machine not having a good run here at Kentucky Speedway, so that young cat not able to make his way up through the field. Ran strong in the early going, but some trouble brought Gibbs back to 25th finishing position. Timothy Smith gonna walk away from the track back in 26th position. Jim Ott right there in 27th, while Caleb Hetty gonna be right there in that 28th spot. 29th on the track goes to Don Kidder and Shane Bliss right there. Those are your 3 race control and admins here tonight, so big shout out, job well done, not just tonight but all season long by Kidder, Bliss, and Hetty out there keeping all of these drivers straight and in line all night long. And well, with that being said, race fans, not very much left for us to do except get ready to fire things off in 2 weeks at Atlanta Motor Speedway when we open things up for round 1, race 1 of the chase. Which one of these drivers will assert their dominance there at Atlanta Motor Speedway? We'll have to wait and see who can get that job done. And with all that being said, race fans, if you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up. Click subscribe and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side, getting notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing headquarters, we do appreciate you each and every time you stop by. Whether you're just sliding through to say hey, or you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family, we do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. And if you haven't already, go ahead and throw these drivers a thumbs up. Good to see everybody out there in the chat here tonight, and we'll look forward to catching up with you once again later on in the season right here on Turn 3 Racing Network, your home for everything Swift. With that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends. Until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.